Okay, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and it's exactly month number 3 of my first year of beekeeping. And I haven't seen the hives for a couple of weeks, so I'm going to go into hive number 1 here to just check it out. It's not been doing very well. At about week number 3, they started getting rid of her queen. She was gone by week number 5. And I found the new queen, but I don't know if she's laying yet. And the hive, last time I checked it, was not looking so good, not very well organized. It's nightfall here, and I've only got about half an hour of daylight left. So I'm going to speed this one up a little bit. Hive number 1, all I want to do is have a look at it, see if I can find some brood, see if she's actually doing something to prolong the health of her hive. Hive number 2 here has been going like crazy. I've already pulled a lot of honey out of it, and I'm expecting that it might be time for me to take honey out of the super on top as well. They were just starting to draw comb on the super of hive number 1 over there, so we'll see how it goes, and maybe we'll be bringing some honey home. They're pretty calm, looks like all the flying's done, but I've never come and cracked open the hives in the evening. I've only ever gone early in the daytime, so I hope I don't rile them up too much, because hive number 2 here has been particularly nasty. This hive has been not happy when I crack the hive open, so I won't be in there much. I'm just going to check the super on that one, but it's hive number 1 that I need to get into a little deeper. So thanks for joining me. Okay, so we'll start on hive number 1 here, and 2 weeks ago they just started drawing comb in the honey super, so I'm not so much interested in honey on this hive, but I really want to see if the new queen is making any brood, because she wasn't 2 weeks ago, but she was 2 weeks before that, so we'll see. There's a lot of bees up there, so that's a good sign. Just make sure the queen isn't on this lid. Doesn't look like it. I'm going to smoke them down just to smoke them. Doesn't look like there's much happening up here in the honey super. In the middle here, middle frames is where they were starting to draw out just a little bit of comb, so I'd be very surprised if there's much happening here as far as comb and or honey. And sure enough, you can see there's nothing going on up here. This hive is not doing very well at all. So I'll pull a couple more frames out here. I do see a bit of comb drawn out on a frame here. Just going to try and hurry up these inspections today because I'm running out of daylight. Tomorrow there's supposed to be a big storm coming through. So this is all they've done in a good 5 weeks of having the honey super up here. So don't see any other drawn out comb at all. So we'll go in we'll go into the brood boxes and see if they are in fact making any brood. Because if they're not, then I'm going to have to take some more drastic action. Maybe take a nice frame out of that hive over there and put it in here and see if they can make some more bees or make a new queen before the fall hits. Okay, so I'll put some smoke in here. Hear them. Not too happy to get the smoke. We're just going to take this super off the top and start looking for some brood underneath. Last 2 weeks ago when I came in here and I took 4 frames of honey out of this box because I got the advice that it may have been honey saturated, I guess. So I took 4 frames out to give the new queen room to put more brood in there. So now 2 weeks later, we'll get a good look and see if she has done anything, or if this hive is still not producing new bees, which is a great concern heading into the fall, of course. Very light frame. See, this is one of the honey frames that I took off, and you can see it hasn't been touched. It's not a good sign at all. They've put more honey into the combs, but they haven't built out the frame at all, which is not good news. This is a decently full honey frame. Well, they got some brood going down at the bottom here. Check it out. It's very odd, a frame almost full of honey, but then they're just building brood at the bottom there. Looks like that might be drone comb. Let's have a closer look here, see if I can see some eggs. I want to make sure I'm not seeing the queen over here. Oh, they're all pretty intent on drinking their nectar. Okay, let's put that one back in. Get the inspection going. This hive has always been pretty calm, but the other one is nasty, outright nasty. So hopefully this hive will stay nice and calm. Well, there's more brood being built, and it looks like even a queen cell coming out there. See that? So that's a good sign. It does mean the queen is laying, so that was my primary concern about this one. So you can see this queen cell that they're building right here. Looks like 2 of them. So I don't know why they keep doing that. I saw a lovely queen in there 3 weeks ago, but she wasn't very well organized. The brood box down below, the first brood box down there, is horrible. You can see even this is not well organized either. Look at how there's capped stuff all over the place. There's way too much honey on this. And this is not a healthy hive for some reason. So we'll take a look at a couple of more, but at least we are seeing that she's laying. But she's just not very well organized. Yeah, there's larvae here. There's all sorts of stuff, but this doesn't look good, you know? It's not like what you want to see in your hive, and especially when you got another one to compare to. This hive started off doing great, but right away they started making queen cells to get rid of her queen. I destroyed as many as I could, but eventually they did get rid of the queen. A new one came on board. See, this is all drone comb here as well. So I'm not going to intervene much with this hive. I'm just going to let them keep doing what they're doing. They have a queen. She is laying. There's plenty of larvae in there. So she's just going to have to work it out, or they're going to have to work it out to try and make things happen. So I'm going to close it up. That's good enough for me on this inspection. It's getting dark and I want to get into that hive a little bit. So I'll just turn on off the camera now and join me in the next hive. Okay, so we're into hive number 2 now, and losing our sunlight, so I don't want to spend too much time here. What I want to see, well, this is a good sign already that they've glued on the lid. There's a lot of bees up there, and we may see that they have filled up this top super with honey. So it's been 2 weeks since I've seen this hive. I took out a few combs because it was honey bound, or took out a few frames because it was honey bound, and got the feeling they might have just filled up that top super with honey. If that's the case, I'll probably put on one of those bee excluder things to get them out of here in a few days, and I may put on a second super for them to keep making honey because they're doing really well. This hive too has been nasty though. I went home with like 13 stings last time I got into them, so hopefully they won't be as bad now. I'm not going to go deep or go into the brood boxes or anything. I'm just going to have a look at this honey super and see if it's ready for extraction. I've already gotten about 70-75 pounds of honey in 3 months here, so I'm really happy with it. If I didn't get another drop of honey, I wouldn't be upset at all. The bees have done great. I'm very happy. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Well, this is my first year beekeeping, so I'm learning as I go, and certainly appreciate all the positive comments down below and the advice that I'm getting from people, so I find that very helpful. Let's see what we got here. It's a tremendously calm day. We're supposed to get record rainfalls tomorrow, and that's why I want to get it done tonight, and at least know if I'm going to take honey from this super, I want to be prepared for it in the next couple of days. Wow, this certainly feels heavy, and sure enough it is, well, I'd say 90% capped on this side, and well, not so much on that side. It's full of nectar, but it's not capped yet. You can see there. You can see here. It's almost ready, but not quite. And they're already coming after me. One frame in and they're starting to bounce off my head here. So I'm going to smoke them down a lot. I'm going to smoke my gloves, my body, and the suit, because I don't want as many stings as I got last time. I wasn't wearing all the gear last time either, so I kind of deserved it. I was taking a lot of their honey, so I kind of deserved it in that end too. I don't know how you beekeepers do this without equipment, man. Because even with these gloves, they sting me through the gloves quite happily. So here's another nice looking comb. I'd say about 90% on both sides. And there's not many bees up here, so it's like their work is almost done up here, but not quite ready for extraction, I'd say. Go away. Wow. Now, this one is 100% capped pretty much. Yeah, pretty close. So, I started off with a bee excluder on this super, and then I removed it because the first couple of weeks they weren't coming up here at all. So I was given the advice just to remove the excluder because it was very likely that they would just put honey up here and not brood. And so far I'd say that's exactly correct. So far it's all honey up here and no brood. And that is great news. Well, not much going on this frame. Actually, this one side is almost 100% capped and the other side is completely empty. Who knows why, eh? Go figure. Yeah, next frame isn't built up much either. The next one over is completely full and completely capped. Beautiful thing. So I don't know, I don't want to take all their honey. Obviously I need to do a calculation of how much they're going to need to survive the winter. I plan on feeding them through the winter anyway. This one's nice and full, both sides. I plan on feeding them 2-to-1 sugar to water ratio through the winter, and I believe that with the bottom 2 brood boxes, the amount of honey they've got down there, they probably have enough to survive the winter. So it's most likely that all this honey up here I will take, but I want to get some advice from other people first. This frame is about 50% capped. This one is more or less the same. Well, probably less. It's probably 40% capped on this side and not capped at all on that side. So they still have some work to do. This last frame is pretty empty. So I'm going to let them continue to work on this, not change anything here. They're doing so well. If they just stop trying to sting me, I'd be greatly appreciative. It was bizarre that last time, getting stung once after another, and I had a good hour's worth of work to do with them. They started getting me right off the bat, so it wasn't at all fun, but you got to try and stay calm and try and get the work done without making it worse. If you're bouncing around and jittering and swinging and slapping and cursing, well, I might have cursed a little bit, but overall you just got to try and do your work, do it in a timely manner. The thing is too that last time I did this, when they really came after me, they followed me to my car too, and they just wouldn't let me go without whacking me. So hopefully they won't come all the way into my car this time. So that's it. I'm going to conclude this inspection then and put things back together. We will not remove honey from here, maybe for another week or two, but I will call a beekeeper and get some advice. I'll call my mentors up and see what they think I should do. So thanks again for joining 4D Honeybee. I really appreciate it. See you next time.